Good morning, algebra students. This is Mrs. Smith. We're starting a new unit about slope and linear equations. We talked about slopes, what they are, why do they matter, how would we see them, where would we see them in daily life. We're going to go out and measure a slope. So you have a worksheet that we just handed out, and we're going to go over the steps to take the measurements. Our objectives are to learn how to measure the rise and the run of a ramp. You'll see the triangle shape there. The ramp is the slanted side. The rise is the part that goes straight up, and the run is the part that goes horizontally from left to right. We're also going to calculate the slope and express it as a percentage. You'll see signs on the side of the highway that say 6% grade ahead, warning truck drivers that there's a somewhat steep slope coming. So those types of signs use a percentage. So we'll calculate our slope as a percentage. What situations would the steepness of a slope be important? If it's very steep or very gradual, what difference does it make? We need to think about who might be using that slope and what they're using it for. So in this picture of a wheelchair going downhill, that looks pretty scary. I don't think I want to take my wheelchair down a slope that steep. Not my skateboard neither. So what would happen if the slope is too steep? What would happen if it's too gradual? Can you think of places where a very, very gradual slope might be not steep enough? Here's the worksheet that we handed out. These are the procedures we'll be using to take our measurements. The first page of the worksheet tells you about precision and which tools to use. So please read that, and we'll be going over that. The second page, those are the steps we're going to follow. So we're going to record everything in our math logbooks. We'll start on a fresh page, include the date and time. I'll come back to the notebooks in a minute. We're going to take the measurements in inches, not units of meters. We're going to do it in inches. We're going to measure the rise and the run and record both of them. We'll express the slope as a ratio, a fraction, just like that. Then we're going to calculate a decimal by dividing the rise and the run. Then we're going to take the decimal and convert that to a percentage. Yesterday we reviewed fractions, decimals, and percentages and how those relate to each other. So in your math logbook, here's some more detail on what we're recording. The title, the date and time, be sure to write legibly. Draw a diagram of what we're measuring, keep it simple, and record your measurements. We're going to record the rise and the run, and there's a little connection there with the arrow showing you where the rise goes in the numerator and where the run goes in the denominator, and the calculations we'll perform. You will be assessed based on your recordings in your logbook, so remember to keep them up to date. Work well as a team together, and everybody gets a chance to participate and take measurements and do the recordings. In your journals, always describe the technical terms and any procedures you're using. Your measurements and calculations will be assessed for accuracy. If you have any questions, let's go over them, and then we'll go outside and take some actual measurements on an actual ramp. Thank you, and I'll see you outside at the ramp.